Coalition.com.
Test, test, test. Good to go? Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the technical difficulties. We have started about 10 minutes late, but we are here. So it's a couple things I want to talk to you about, but before I jump into things, I do want to give a shout out to our new subscribers. Thank you for joining us on this journey. As the world transitions assets into tokens and cryptocurrencies, it's a very exciting time to be alive. And as I've been putting this material together, we're very new at this YouTube streaming, but we have a lot of information to share with you. I'm always reminded of Satoshi Nakamoto's quote from July of 2010. He wrote, "If you don't believe or don't get it, I don't have the time to try to convince you sorry." Well, here at Untwisting the Game Crypto, we do have the time, not just to convince you, but to simply provide a compilation of truths, a collection of information that will enable you to make your own well-informed decisions. So with that, the previous videos, Michelle has kind of gone over the Polkadot ecosystem here. There was some news that was released yesterday from Medium.com by Huobi and also by Promo Team regarding the Polkadot ecosystem and the Kusama Parachain auctions. And it's a very good piece here, so that's why I wanted to go over it with you, because it's going to go over the leading projects, and it has a very insightful, in-depth analysis provided. So, and again, everything I go over in this video, I will leave links below so you can continue to do your own research. Okay, let's kind of jump in the article here. Okay, well, first, let me explain what Polkadot is. I try to explain it in one or two sentences, but Polkadot enables scalability by allowing specialized blockchains to communicate with each other in a secure, trust-free environment. Now, as we look at the crypto space now, you know, Ethereum is the second generation of blockchains. Then you have projects like Cardano, who are the third generation. And now you have a project by the name of Polkadot, who calls themselves the next generation of blockchains. So when we look at Bitcoin, when we look at Ethereum, one issue that has plagued the space is the issue of scalability and also securely scaling projects. And Polkadot has a very unique and interesting outlook on how to solve these problems. Very excited about the upcoming auctions. I'm very excited about Polkadot in whole as a project. So with that being said, let's kind of just jump into this article. I've pre-highlighted some sentences here, so it shouldn't take too long to go through it. Okay, so Kusama, okay, is a parachain, and we're going to have parachain auctions. So testing on the Rococo network is near its completion. All main Kusama projects have tried out the crowd loan auction scheme. During the test, all projects were able to participate in the slot auction and try connecting to main network as a parachain. Now, I just said that Kusama is a parachain. That's not true. Kusama is more of a relay chain, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more here in a second. So thanks to this testing and the active community support, we can now, with some sort of confidence, decide what projects are more prepared for slot auctions, and thus can predict what projects will make it on the list of the 10 auction winners that will get connected, plugged into the Kusama as first parachains. And here, definitely follow the Parachain news. They have a twitter.com account, .parachains, a lot of great information there. And also follow and subscribe to the Promo Team YouTube channel. Great videos there as well. Talk about parachains. What are parachain auctions and how do they work? First, let me show you this here. It is a photo of a relay chain connected to a parachain, so you can kind of visualize what I'm talking about here. Give me one moment as this loads. Okay, so if we take a look at this representation of a relay chain, you have the relay chain here. Okay, this is going to be the main blockchain, and it's going to connect to parachains that plug into the relay chain. So one thing to know about the relay chain, it's not capable of filling smart contracts or any complicated blockchain technology. All the relay chain does is secure the network and help communicate each parachain to all the parachains that are connected to the relay chain. So this is going to be very exciting because you're going to have multiple blockchains plug into the relay chain and be able to communicate with each other. This is going to be huge. So Kusama, and also on Polkadot in the future, serves as a relay chain that interconnects all parallel chains called parachains in its ecosystem. All parachains have their governance and functions, but their security is rooted in the relay chain. Currently, there's a limited amount of available parachain slots, key, that can be connected to the relay chain. Hence, all projects have to compete with each other for these slots. Again, this article is going to have a video here that kind of explains the parachain auctions on Polkadot and Kusama. So let's jump into the participants of the upcoming auctions. This particular article breaks each project into 3 different groups here. The first group contains 2 infrastructure projects that are very important for the Kusama ecosystem. These are the bridges. Okay, these bridges are going to connect Kusama with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now we can kind of suck liquidity from the Ethereum network and also Bitcoin network into the Polkadot ecosystem. The second group includes the projects that were in the Kusama community for a long time and thus clearly declared their intention to join Kusama as parachains instead of Polkadot. Okay, so this article is focusing on the Kusama auctions first. They have a strong technical background, a history of Rococo Testnet participation, and are deemed generally as the projects with the most potential. Okay, the third group that this article kind of includes are projects that were very active in the ecosystem previously or were doing their work in a secretive manner, but some of them may also participate in auctions and join as parachains to Kusama. Now, these auctions are going to happen every 3 to 4 weeks. A new batch of projects will be connected to Kusama as parachains. The plan is to connect about 30 parachains in the first year, so we have to expect much more than just 10 auctions, but we'll see how this plays out. So let's discuss the first group, the infrastructure projects. Okay, these infrastructure projects are considered common good projects for the Kusama ecosystem. These projects will get their parachain slots in Kusama without auctions, thanks to the decision of the council. So cross-chain communication is crucial for the success of Polkadot and Kusama. That's why these bridges with Bitcoin and Ethereum have such great importance and don't have to compete for slots with other projects. So let's go back to this image here. Again, the relay chain in the middle here. And here is a representation of a bridge, okay? It's going to be connected as a parachain, but it's going to bridge to other blockchains. So it's going to bridge to Bitcoin, it's going to bridge to Ethereum, it's going to bridge to EOS, it's going to bridge to Tron. Maybe there'll be a bridge to Cardano in the future. Maybe there'll be other bridges to other blockchains. So these bridges, which is very important, are funded by the Web3 Foundation grants. So as you're going through the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem, it's definitely important to find out which projects have received grants from the Web3 Foundation. That just lets you know that they have the backing of the Web3 Foundation and Parity and the internal community with the inside of Polkadot and Kusama. Okay. So let's talk about the two bridges just very quickly here. This article lists two bridges, Polkadot BTC, which will bridge to the Bitcoin blockchain, and then you have Snowfork. Snowfork is going to bridge to the Ethereum network. Also, one of the first parachain connections will be Kusama to Polkadot. So Polkadot is going to be the main relay chain, and then you have Kusama, which is a second relay chain where projects go not necessarily to test, but to kind of try the blockchains first before moving to Polkadot, the main relay chain. So Kusama may become the first parachain on the Polkadot ecosystem, on the Polkadot relay chain. So that's very interesting. Keep that in mind, because you have to remember Kusama was created as an early version of Polkadot with the same code and the same architecture. So projects can go to Kusama first before auctioning to go to the Polkadot relay chain. And we can assume that the Polkadot relay chain to plug in as a parachain is going to be significantly more expensive than plugging into the Kusama relay chain. Okay, let's discuss the second group here. This article lays out. This group includes the biggest projects of the Kusama infrastructure that are very likely to be on the list of first parachains. So let's discuss two leading projects here on the second group. You have Acala, and then you have Plasm. There are two leaders competing for everyone's attention right now. It's these two projects. And one thing you have to keep in mind is that a lot of projects, they will have two different versions of themselves. So the Acala is going to be the Polkadot version, and then you have Karura, who's going to be the Kusama version. And again, Plasm, same thing. Plasm will be on the Polkadot relay chain, and Shiden is going to be on the Kusama relay chain. And I love this article. A lot of great infographics here. April 4th, 2021, Parachain First Pretenders. So it kind of breaks down into details the differences between the two projects and why they're so important to the ecosystem. So, and again, I'm not going to read every sentence in this article, but I did highlight quite a bit. Go to the article, take a moment and just read through it yourself. It's a quick read, but you're going to get a lot of good information to help you kind of choose which projects and which blockchains to invest in. Again, this channel is not for financial advice. It's just education. We're showing you good information to where you can go and learn more before you invest. Karura, is the ecosystem's monetary hub, and Shiden is a smart contract platform that aggregates all technologies related to smart contracts and their scaling. So as the smart contract functionality isn't available on the relay chains, so Polkadot Kusama, the chain itself is just for security and communication. Genius how Gavin put all this together. Important here, one thing seems certain. Both will be among the first parachains because indeed they are very mature. Both are being in development for more than 2 years, have excellent technical teams and active communities, very active online. Both projects prepare their referral programs that will allow auction participants and promoters to earn token rewards. These two are undoubted leaders of the race. So let's look at other high quality projects in the second group according to this article. Robonomics, Bifrost, Phala, Crust, Darwinia, KILT, and Moonbeam represent another batch of highly praised projects for Polkadot. Again, a little infographic here that kind of explains the differences and what they bring to the table to the Polkadot ecosystem. Robonomics is building infrastructure for the Internet of Things. So robots, smart contracts will allow, in the future, robots to not only pay each other, but grade each other on skills and also communicate with each other. Bifrost is a really interesting DeFi project here. Bifrost is the team building bridges with EOS, Ethereum, and has many other platform bridges. So the difference here is with Bifrost, unlike Acala or Plasma, Bifrost doesn't have a separate network for Kusama, and all Bifrost auction participants on Kusama will get the same tokens as they will get in the future on the Polkadot auction. Next up is the Phala network. I'm very bullish on Phala. Michelle and I have quite a large exposure to this network. It's pretty much going to allow for secure, confidential smart contracts and services, because in the future, when corporations start plugging into these blockchains, not all of them are going to want their ledgers public. So this is going to be used quite a bit. I'm excited about that one. Crust network we have exposure to as well. It's a decentralized cloud storage for Web3. It has successfully passed a series of testnet launches, has a ton of real use applications and collaborations with dozens of projects throughout the ecosystem here. Okay, this next infographic kind of shows you the difference between Darwinia, KILT, and Moonbeam. Darwinia, another project we have exposure to right now. It's a decentralized cross-chain bridge network building on Substrate, which provides general bridge solutions connecting to Ethereum, Tron, and other heterogeneous chains by cross-chain asset transfer. I know that's a mouthful and that's a lot to comprehend, especially if you're new to this space, but stay tuned, like and subscribe. In the future, in the near future, each week we're going to have deep dives into each network. And it's a lot now, but as you expose yourself to more of the blockchain language and the crypto space, it starts to make more and more sense, and you can make well-informed decisions that will help boost your portfolio. This next graphic here is very interesting. It's a timeline of the Polkadot ecosystem as far as GitHub is concerned. It starts in November 2017, and this timeline ends in February 2021. So it kind of lays out the main projects when they started being developed, where they are now. So it shows you the number of commits, the number of issues and releases, and every project on this timeline I'm a fan of. But again, I'm not going to say too much now. We're going to go to deep dives in each of these projects in the near future. Now, the rest of this article kind of explains the remaining projects that are anticipated to have auctions. You have Moonbeam here. It's another platform that's going to extend the base of the Ethereum feature set. That's really exciting. KILT is another interesting project. They're going to bring real-world accreditation to the digital world. So this is going to create a way for businesses to verify credentials and bring trust to a whole new level. So when you're looking at these projects, you want to ask yourself, what is going to be used? What projects are going to be important for corporations? With the Polkadot ecosystem and the way it's built, it's going to allow corporations to quickly and efficiently customize their blockchain and quickly plug into the crypto ecosystem. So it's going to be very interesting. You have to think of it like Wix or what's the website? Squarespace. It's going to be the Squarespace of blockchains. So it's going to take out all of the time, energy, and money that it takes to create a blockchain to where you can have an idea, use the substrate, plug into the blockchain, and you're good to go. Okay, Polkadot ecosystem social media stats. Again, this is really important because again, not financial advice, but what we have found that has worked for us in our portfolio. We've seen 10x's, we've seen 100x's, we even have seen 1000x's on certain projects in our portfolio. And these are the kind of things that we look for. Not only is there a good use case for the project, but what's the buzz on the street? Are people talking about it? Is it lit on social media? So this is a really good infographic here because it breaks down each project in their social media stats. And Polkadot, of course, number one up here. ChainX is up here, Acala, Phala, and the rest here. So just moving on, just pay attention to this stuff. And you never want to just invest in a project and just keep it moving and don't stay up to date on the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month growth of the project, because in the crypto space, things move incredibly fast. Michelle and I were talking yesterday. It's getting impossible to keep up with all these projects. So that's why it's important to follow YouTube channels like this so we can provide you good information and reliable resources here. Finally, on this article, it breaks the third group down into work in progress. So we have ChainX in this group. It's a Polkadot second layer relay chain. So we don't expect ChainX to be a parachain. It's going to sit on top of the relay chain. Again, we'll do a deep dive in the future. Zenlink made their list. HydraDX, another interesting project. What they want to do is just put all assets into one shared liquidity pool. So, when you think about that, if you want high returns, high APYs, you want to have access to large amounts of liquidity because that's where the money is. So you want to choose projects that have high market caps. Well, you want to choose projects that will have high market caps because that's where the money is going to flow. That's where you're going to get your interest from. Equilibrium made the list. Subsocial. Centrifuge made the list. In the description, I'll leave a link to a recent podcast I heard of a developer from Centrifuge, and it was very interesting and eye-opening because they have a different strategy. They've decided not to go immediately out for auctions. They're going to kind of let the wave pass first and then apply for an auction because their strategy is it'll be cheaper once all the hype dies down. So interesting strategy with Centrifuge. Litentry is an interesting project. It's going to support cross-chain aggregated identities. In the future, that's going to be huge. We're interested to see which identity protocol is going to win. There's going to be multiple identity protocols that make it past the first couple initial waves and kind of are going to be set in stone in society. So you have to remember that, everything of value is going to be run on the blockchain. That even means your identity. You're going to have more autonomy and control over your identity. You're going to have more control over your online data. So the future is looking very interesting. Polkadot or PolkaFoundry made the list here. They're going to focus on DeFi projects and NFT apps. MathChain made the list. They're a layer 2 blockchain built on top of one substrate. They also have a wallet. So that's going to be definitely keep an eye out on that. DataHighway, been reading and listening to a lot of good things about them. It's going to be a sophisticated Internet of Things parachain based on Polkadot. Bit.Country, this is going to be a virtual metaverse, so think Decentraland. SubDAO is going to be a DAO infrastructure based on Polkadot, where any decentralized organization is allowed to conveniently create and manage DAOs. DAOs are going to be very huge, especially in the political space as we move to the future. In Cointer, another interesting product, Clover. I'm really bullish on Clover. I love what they're doing over there. Edgeware, again, it's an older project on the Polkadot ecosystem, but it's going to be around. Edgeware is a smart contract chain with a community managed treasury. Okay, that's going to be big. Finally, in this article, more updates in the future, so definitely click the link in the description, save it to your browser. And before I leave, definitely show Alex promo team some love. He was one of the authors of this, or the author of this article here. Show him some love on Twitter. I actually followed him, and he's got some really insightful tweets about what's going on in the Polkadot ecosystem. And show some love to Huobi. Huobi is a strong supporter of the Polkadot community and released in December 2020 several initiatives that can make an important impact on the Polkadot ecosystem. So with that, definitely stay tuned. Listen to crypto podcasts, blockchain podcasts, YouTube channels every day. Okay, this is a full-time job. But if you pay attention to what's going on in the ecosystem, it's generational wealth here. We're on the forefront of a wealth changing, a transition of financial infrastructure. No industry is going to be untouched when it comes to this new blockchain technology. And it's so important in getting in early on a lot of these projects. I know a couple of these projects have had airdrops, upcoming airdrops, and small market caps right now on a majority of these Polkadot and Kusama projects. So, with the coming bull run, moving into next year, again, not financial advice, you're going to see some mind-melting gains. This will be our second bull run. This time around, we've paid a lot more attention, and we're going to help you, show you the way. At least show you what to pay attention to, because there's so much noise out here. But pay attention to these parachain auctions. Polkadot is going to be massive.